alive and in living color. I'm also known by most people as Brother TJ, but my consort and my mate gave me my God name, Vishnu, because she's Lakshmi. So to her, I give ultimate thanks for giving me my God name. I wear it proudly. But again, I come to you like always, serious about what I'm here to present to you. For a long time, we've had the Bobby Hemmitts and the Phil Valentines, the David Blairs, and it goes on. But now we're coming at a time now where we must promote the up-and-coming scholars, the new brain trust. And I'm real proud to be a part of that new brain trust. And I'm encouraging all those that are out there under the sound of my voice and who may see this presentation and who have been doing some studying. The family welcomes you to come on and bring what you got, because we're living in a war zone now. Spiritual wickedness in high places. You can't get caught up in the isms no more. Nothing is necessarily black and white, because we're dealing with spirits and counter spirits. As we evolve, as melanated people, as metaphysicians, as holistic practitioners, as teachers, as scholars, we must evolve to that God state and that self-realization. So in talking about the up-and-coming scholars, there's one in particular that for some reason I've taken a special liking to. And I love all the brothers. And really I want to put out a shout out for the sisters, because we need you sister scholars too. And we don't have very many sisters coming in front of the camera to drop that information. And we need that feminine presentation. And I want to take the time to even mention that you're going to see more of the sister Lakshmi, a very brilliant woman who's got a lot to offer from the feminine side. But today is not about her. Today is about a brother in particular. But before I bring him on, I just want to give a shout out to the other brother scholars up there from New Production, Black Dot, Chris, Rich, and all the other ones, man, around the country. But those in particular, because these brothers have picked up where others have left off, and they're keeping it alive. And for that, I'm eternally grateful to these brothers. And like this interview that we're going to do tonight, I would like to do with these brothers as well. And I'm already giving it a title, Cold Blue, the real 9/11. Because some things going on that we need to deal with, you know, that we need to deal with because we're in a war. But anyway, tonight is all about brother A.A. Rashid. Not many of your scholars, only a few, have touched on this particular subject. And this brother's history and experience is a very unique story. It's a story that I believe will give hope to people who have lived similar experiences as him, who've come up through the ranks of the ghetto, or as the hood, as they say. And as we know that the prison system is one of the biggest industries in this country. And for a brother to go to prison does not necessarily make him a criminal, because from my knowledge, crime pays. It don't pay the people who are the victims of it, but the people who orchestrate this particular industry is big money. So I just want to say to the brother A.A. Rashid, I want to say that he did some wonderful things with his life in what appeared to be an adverse situation. He has taken the time to refine himself in the studies of esoteric science. I've been dabbling with this thing for years and still don't know shit about it. And in a short period of time, This brother's presentation has raised my IQ in that particular area by leaps and bounds. The name of this lecture, and it's not really a lecture, it's an interview, it's called Kabbalistic Conversation with a Young Master. And I'm going to call him a master because he has mastered his particular craft when it comes to dealing with the Kabbalah. You know, speaking of Kabbalah, I have the one of 23 volume Zohar here, which he would talk about, and he would tell you who even wrote it. This is the Zohar, and for those who don't know anything about it, this book, you have to read it from right to left, like you do the original Quran, and really go back into ancient history. Because you know the European has always tricked us by taking us the other way around, left to right. So we're going to be going back the way we're supposed to go. See, matter of fact, children who do this in school, they call them dyslexic. But really, they're doing what they do supposed to do naturally. That's for real. You know, when I think about the Kabbalah, I have a few trinkets in my house, and one of them is a video called Becoming God. It's like becoming like God. But when you get self-realization, we are God. Can you dig it? Well, anyway, here's some more little things I have. The Kabbalah, some things that you need to get and study. But I just want to say that I am very proud to become a sponsor and a coach to this brother. I want to see him do well in what he does. I think many of us need to learn the esoteric sciences because for so long we have been spoon-fed on fables, allegories, and straight-up lies. And other people have created an artificial reality that we have bought into, and that's why we're in the condition where we're at now. I believe the brother's presentation will help open up the vortex and help open up the meridians where true information will be taken in and people will begin to awaken. There are so many things that we need to be concentrating on at this point in time. But I'm going to let this brother tell you his story, and I'm going to let him tell you about the Kabbalah like no one I've ever heard tell it. The brother went and grabbed it back and is bringing it back to our people. Because I'd like to see more of the young people begin to embrace this type of knowledge. So again, I just want to bring forth this brother, Brother Rashid, and listen to him. Not with these two ears, but with the third ear. And see him, not with these two illusionary eyes, but see him with the third eye. I tell you, it's off the chart what you're about to hear from this brother. But now, before I go, I just want to say this to you. We are at the bottom of the barrel economically, and I've been saying this over and over and over for years. I've told it to my Moorish brothers in the temples. I've been telling people individually, we need to start getting some precious metals, all right? The dollar bill is getting ready to fall. The shit ain't worth but 12 cents now. Matter of fact, it might be worth about 8 cents, okay? And there are rumors of what's going on in China with the debt. Iran goes to the euro, Russia goes, it all falls. So, you need to start acquiring silver. Even Brother Phil Valentine have said on a couple of his tapes that we're going to have to go back to the bartering system. Well, what are you going to barter with? Okay? And we know legal money is gold and silver. Most people cannot afford gold, but silver is easily acquired, and believe it or not, it appreciates faster than gold. So I'm just putting it out there because I've been involved in saving silver for a long time, and I think I would be okay, along with other knowledge dealing with commerce and contracts, I think I would do fine. But if anyone is interested in acquiring silver and also creating a home-based business, helping others acquiring silver, then you can reach me at my email at arronaj2003@yahoo.com. I don't give out my number no more because I'm already being swamped with other stuff and I can't handle the pressure no more. I'm becoming one of the elders now. So I'm trying to fade back and give it to these brothers and let them take it to the next level. So again, get your precious metals. And also, in the Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, I'm opening up the Health and Wellness Center, whereas we're doing some real good things with the technologies on how we can improve the quality of our health and repolarizing these cells and protecting ourselves from the unwanted frequencies that are now attacking us on all levels. That's another lecture, another commentary by itself dealing with the silent weapons. So anyway, the next face you will see will be my brother. You feel like a son in so many words, but my brother, A.A. Rashid. Give him your undivided attention and also support this brother, okay? A lot of times we support things that don't give us nothing back in return. This brother don't make a lot of money telling you his stories. None of the underground scholars get paid big money for what they do. They do what they do because they are gods. They have come back to do the work, like myself. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't make that, really, I don't get paid that much money, but I do create it. You see what I'm saying? I create the money because I know what money is. So I create the credits. But most people don't know what I know, so we're not going to even go there. But my thing is this: support the brother. When you listen to the tape, he'll give you his phone number and the email address. Buy his tapes. Support him by buying his tapes. Support him by setting up a program in your schools. Support him by bringing him into your cities and allowing him to teach you this awesome esoteric science. Not only him, but all the young scholars. We seeking more of you. Matter of fact, there's two young kids that are like geniuses when it comes to chemistry. I'm talking about these kids, man, can build a nuclear reactor. These kids are off the chart. We need to support our young people now. So, chill, relax, and listen to what this brother got to say. Until the next time, peace. The Kabbalah and the esoteric sciences, man, goes so far and so deep. But we got, man, but look, there's so many things we need to be dealing with right now because, like we was talking off camera, we're talking about the fact that as a people, we need to step up our game far as commercially becoming sound. And our commercial integrity is kind of ragged right now. And I thank God for the people around me and the people that I'm meeting that is on the path of enlightenment, not only with the higher sciences and spirituality, but the fact that economically we need to become sound. It is matter of fact, this tape that I'm doing with you is one of beginning series because I want to interview some of the other scholars like Black Dot and them and Chris and Rick and all them and some of the others, and I want to call it Cold Blue. And the reason why I want to call it Cold Blue because this is the real 9/11. So the other stuff there was a ritual. Well,
9/11 takes us back to numerologically back to the first word in the Bible, which is beginning. And they inaugurated the beginning of a whole new paradigm or approach to dealing with us here on 9/11. Preemptively. That was the preemptive measure required to promote their global agenda, which is to paint everyone with the color of fiction, with that color law, and to keep us. This whole thing with the computers and shopping online, and they're getting everybody ready to stay your ass in the house.
Yeah.
They don't want you to come outside your area. And then they're going to see the movie V for Vendetta was profound exposure, and the British have the science of exposure down to a science. They put stuff right in your face. Alan Moore. And they put the stuff right in your face so you can see emphatically what's going on. So we think that a piece of entertainment is nothing more than a passing fancy, when in fact it's nothing more than the news. The news, and they're preemptively informing us of what they're willing and they're going to do to inaugurate the momentous agenda which lies ahead of us. And 9/11 really was, for all of you out there who are paying attention, 2001 is 11 years away from 2012. 9/11 was preparing us for the 2012 agenda. But the thing that's going to have you exempt from the transcendence, or actually being able to receive the influx of the light codes that are coming from the deepest, darkest recesses of the Milky Way, is fear.
Right.
Once fear soils the flesh is no good. The vessel has been tarnished. So who likes drinking or putting anything inside of a filthy glass? Not the universe, and the universe is not going to do that. It's not going to allow a husk to be accommodated by the redeeming influx of energy coming from the deepest, darkest recesses of the cosmos. Because what's going to happen is the sun is going to rise along the horizon in the very center of the Milky Way. And in Mayan cosmology, they said that dark region, they would measure not just the constellations, but they would measure and draw out and map the dark regions of the sky as well. Because they know that in those deep, dark regions of the sky, that's where the raw energy of what God is housed. They're deep, in those deep, dark recesses of the universe, they got concentrations of hydrogen atoms that are so condensed that you could cut them out with a butter knife. And when the sun rises in the deep, dark part of the Milky Way, the Mayan cosmology said that is the vaginal orifice of the Milky Way, which is the mother. So a child will be born out of that. And the sun is nothing but an electromagnetic lens. It lenses towards us all of the stellar imperatives behind it. So we're going to receive, those of us who are fearless, those of us who are doing the work now, those of us who have risen above the dualities and the illusions of the racial thing is something that's stifling us. But what happens with melanin is melanin will reject a malefic spirit, because melanin is an intelligent, independent of itself. So it chooses a body. Mathematically, it chose to utilize this vesture to accommodate the greater part of intent, which is the God mind. And this template structure that we call man, Adam, Aleph 1, Daleth 4, which is 5, and Meme, which is 40, 45, 4 and 5 equals 9. Adam is a number. The number is 45. And that number, as 9, entails 4 matter, 5 spirit. And that Adam is the primal spirit, which is the doorway for water. Aleph, primal spirit, ox, Daleth, doorway, meme, water. That's what we are. I spoke about this at the in Philadelphia when we did the Kabbalistic interpretation of debt and sorcery.
And matter of fact, speaking of that, you're going to do a part 2 of that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're going to do the part 2 the last week of January in Harlem at the Hiram Lodge,
so anybody,
24th Street.
So anybody that listens to this tape, I thoroughly endorse part 2. If you haven't got part 1, you need to get it. I'm here with some other folks of like minds, like spirit, and we understand the name of the game is contracts and commerce. So, and we got contracts both spiritually and on the earth realm that we need to honor. But yeah, brother, that's something I'm looking forward, man, and seeing you doing, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Continue what you were saying.
Thank you. So what happens is with the with intent, as Reverend Phil Valentine turning all kind of colors in the face, trying to teach us this for the last 20 years, is that food is the doorway into the soul by way of the breaking or establishing those amino acid bonds on the DNA template. Once you remove that bond and the DNA doesn't know who it is, it will become accommodating to the influx of any information transmitted towards it. So that light code lockdown is all about see, DNA is a crystal, and all crystals are piezoelectric. Pisene from the Greek meaning pressure. So you can squeeze a crystal and out emits photons. So the soul is the photons, which compress when the soul. See, when they say pressure bust pipes, you know the term pressure bust pipes,
Right.
And pressure can create diamonds. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot. And fear is one of those pressures that can emit particular types of photons and also make the crystal of DNA accommodating. So it's a transmitter and a receptor, DNA. So this is how the unified field of consciousness is able to exist. We all, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you said on our way here, by raising that frequency.
Yeah, just
once
like
you raise the frequency, you're unaffected by the matrix.
Exactly. Just like, for instance, you know, off camera, we was talking about, you know, the so-called authorities, the police, but all these different people vibrate on the lower frequency. And once you raise the frequency, them people can't even see you no more.
Yep.
That's right.
They be eyes wide shut.
That's right.
Now, I'll give you an example. Coming over here. I think every other block I was showing you ELF tower arrays.
That's right.
Okay? And they beaming these things up, man.
And I know those ain't got nothing to do with phones.
No, it has nothing.
Because the service in Bed-Stuy is the worst.
It
I
has
can't get
nothing,
the signal.
It has nothing whatsoever to do with no cell phones. Whatsoever.
No, there are
You know,
frequency range.
no, those things are used, and I'm gonna tell you something, and they work mainly on people that's vibrating on a low
Low
frequency.
frequency.
That's what causes the, you know, disease amplification. That's what causes stupefaction.
Right.
That's what causes people to become docile. Now, because of the fact that they're using these technologies,
Feel that.
most of the people that you see every day are zombies.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Now, people might take me wrong when I say this.
Liberate.
Yes, a lot of the things we talk about, the European, the white boy, but it's Negroes that be getting on my nerve most of the time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we have been reduced to damn near subhuman.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like we were talking about, you know, the brothers who are doing good versus the brothers that's out there doing wrong. But if all y'all look alike, how people gonna know the difference? You see what I'm saying? Give an example, the police. How the police know a brother that's really got it going on compared to a brother that's out here doing some wrong stuff if all of them look alike?
Now, let me digress for a moment. When you see the young brothers in the community gang busting and doing what appears to be wrong, they're not doing what's wrong. They're doing what's right.
Exactly.
Now, the thing is that we got too many selfish leaders out there. See, the kids got a secret and a cult school. They got family. And Bill Moyer's interview with Joseph Campbell in the book called The Power of Myth, Joseph Campbell distinctively defines street culture and gang activity as mythology. And that's the mythos that I'm a former gang member. When I was a kid, we had a gang called the Raiders. And we used to wear LA Raider hats. And the LA, we used to say, meant the Lost Ark. And the Lost Ark was the corner of Gates and Clinton. And that's where we used to hang out and all get together. And we used to all, that's where we were. And to be in the gang, your ass we had to whoop you in the gang. And to get out, you had to get whooped out the gang. So we had a very advanced technology which utilized experience, memory, symbolisms to have a secret code of ethics amongst ourselves. See, but all concepts evolve.
Right.
Like the white.
Yeah, but that's how they evolve. But yeah, man. But you know, my point is, man, is that we live in some very critical times. And I just want, man, some of the people, man, especially the brothers, man, that's out there struggling on which way to go, that it's our time now. And we got to seize the moment now. This is our time. So from a brother who has walked the path that you walk, what suggestions do you have for the brothers out there? How would you talk to a younger brother on walking the path based on your experience?
The first thing I would tell the young brothers is that, especially those who are being guided by a force of older gentlemen, that if they're not teaching you how to become financially and resourceful and teaching you how to be intelligent, you're being led wrong. These selfish leaders have these children in the street gang busting, and they haven't even addressed their intellectual properties to seeing if these children can read or write. Because, see, the other cultures, they put you in your lane. You got geniuses walking them streets, but with no leadership to guide these children and put them in the areas where they need to be in the society to promote the civilization. And we're going to be here. We have to have a civilization to be here. In order to have a sound and healthy environment, you have to have some healthy people. So an emphasis should be put on why the gangbusters ain't teaching the kids how to eat. You know what I'm saying? The leadership. You know what I'm saying? Why they're not taking the symbolisms of their culture and creating them into theologies, which challenge the mind to reach outside of this body and see a greater existence. You know what I'm saying? And our brothers are creating and creating emotional empires. We have emotional empires. We have all these emotional traumas and these distinctions, which I don't like that nigga.
Right.
That nigga think he all that. And we're creating this, but we don't even have a financial empire to support us if we did engage in a war with the brother. All the emphasis to kill another man, but no emphasis on the resources required to get out the jam once you done killed them.
Right.
You know, help me understand where we're going. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. How far are we going?
Well, you know, I you know, from what I'm seeing, from my perspective, we going fast nowhere. Nowhere fast. Now, so that's what we're trying to come up now with the solution. And now that I was talking to my beloved brother off camera, we need, like I said, some economic development. We need to come together with a plan. You know, and you know, I personally have spoken many times. I've had the opportunity to speak at the UN as a moral, and got 3 standing ovations on what we need to do to be empowered. Start, because we got to start somewhere. We know that the dollar bill, as we know the Federal Reserve note, is nothing in the form of money. And if today or tomorrow they just had to shut that bank, how would you survive from day to day? What do you have to barter with for you and your family? How would you eat if they shut the bank down today or tomorrow? These are the things that we need to be dealing with because it's coming.
But it'd be interesting to see is how long, oh, I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, so so there's some things that we really need to be, that we need to be thinking about as individuals as well as a people. Like yesterday, man, I was riding. Now, I know the Koreans be selling hair. Man, they cut niggas' hair.
That's right.
I saw a nigga sleep in a chair. Korean was cutting this nigga's hair, and he was in chair sleep like he was in heaven.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, hey, look, man, we gotta make a 180-degree turn, because the way we going now is it's like we going back to 1930 Alabama. So that's why, man, it's very important, man, for a brother like yourself, man, who've experienced the street life. And now the universe is using you in a very profound way to help illuminate the minds of the people. And I tell you, man, I really feel very privileged to be able to sit down and talk to you on a one-on-one exclusive basis, man, because, again, by me being from the Maryland, D.C. area, people began to ask about, hey, this is Brother Rashid. And, and so now people need to know who you are. And I want people to know who you are, man, and what you stand for. And what you stand for, And so,
well, when you say stand for, one thing I never wanted to do, and I always tell people this, that I be playing, but I be serious too. I'm the devil, and I be telling niggas that.
Right.
That I am the devil and I am God, and I pick and choose when to tap into those potencies in accordance to my environment. And when you get into Kabbalah symbolism, Kabbalah is about you picking from the median course, which side of the tree to occupy when you want to enact a particular agenda. Numerically, when you look at the central path of the tree of life, the central path equals Yahweh. There's the first Sephiroth, there's the 6th below it, there's the 9th below that, and there's the 10th below that. 10 plus 9, 19, plus 6 is 25, plus 1 is 26. The central path of Yahweh is where the flesh must be girded by the psychological conceptualizations, which are on each side as 3 and 3, 33, 3 and 3, the 3 Sephiroth on the pillar of Binah, and the 3 Sephiroth on the pillar of Chokmah. Now, Chokmah is the masculine, merciful, passive pillar, while Binah is the pillar of force and form. So when you want to inaugurate any agenda, when you want to make manifest anything in existence, you must subjugate the flesh to the powers of both sides, and with the voice of power express that which now here's a secret for those who are paying attention. The secret of Noah's 3 sons have nothing to do with race. Okay? Shem, Japheth, and Ham have nothing to do with race. Shem, in one interpretation, it can mean that, but it doesn't have that interpretation. That's not the one we want to focus on right now. Shem means favored, because Shem is the same word for name. So anyone who has a name is favored. Anyone who is Japheth, Japheth means his eye, his middle. Anyone who's Ham is malefic. So the old Judaic Gnostic and the whole Gnostic tradition, anything incarnate is black. Anything that has incarnated is black, is dark. So which one saw the Father's nakedness? The black one. Ham. Because only the black one, only that which is black can absorb the nakedness of the Father. The Father is the truth, the greatest truth of all, but the only way his Father could be able to disseminate the truth was in a state of drunkenness. Remember the story. The father got drunk, went to sleep, and Ham saw his nakedness. That don't have nothing to do with all these. They got all these homosexual connotations they try to place with it. Incestual, homosexual. That's the first sin. He seen his daddy naked.
See my daddy naked.
I see my daddy naked when I was little.
You know what I'm saying? It verified who I was.
Right. So you in trouble if you ain't see your daddy naked.
Or your mama.
Or your mama. So now the word Shem as name in the Sumerian cosmology, the sound for Shem was a spaceship. When you look at the symbol for Shem, it was a spaceship. So that when they say that God is coming in a name, the connotation for sound, vibratory tonage, when you disturb the medium, when you speak, sound is created by disturbing the medium, whatever's around it. That's how you create vibratory tone, compression zones, and rarefaction. Within that rarefaction and condensation, do you get the elements for sound. So that's how you bring into being anything. You give it a name, and then you speak it into being. And when you speak it into being, it comes about. That's why the words of power are any words that you speak. You could very well say nothing and then just thought. See, now when you're speaking in your mind, you're speaking on a higher frequency. When you spoke it down here in this realm, you're speaking in the tongue of when you slow down mind. See, mind speech, psychoacoustics are vibrating and resonating on a whole nother higher frequency. You slow them down and give them texture by giving it sound, word. And another wonderful thing is hearing. The sense for hearing is very spiritual in that you can close your eyes, you can inside your head close your nose so you can't smell nothing. You could close your mouth, but you can't close your ears. That shows you that you have to be in resonance with the sound in order for you to continuously keep your time-space continuum going, to keep existence flowing. The heart itself is saying Yahweh, and it uses 4 corners to do it. 4, what do they call them? Chambers of the heart.
The quadrant, yeah.
That's right, a quadrant. So you need sound. Boom, 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 boom. Really, it's saying it sound boom, boom. With the what's that apparatus with the stethoscope, but it's really saying Yahuwah, 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 Yahuwah.